And here we go. I really should say we are off and running. We just had our first virtual session, our first virtual interview, our first live interview. So we are fully ready to go. We are the Stronger Together podcast, and we are thrilled to be coming to you for the fourth year in a row here at ISTE Live and bringing you the voices of ISTE. And it is great to share. I say this all the time. It's so selfish of me to invite all these amazing educators because I get to learn. This is how I learn about people and the work that they're doing, and I'm thrilled to do that. And I know for the past more than that now, probably 3 weeks, I've been able to learn from my co-host, Nick from School AI. How are you, Nick? And we are off and running.
I am doing great. I just had someone walk by with the same Thundercats hat I'm wearing.
No way.
Yes. My man over there walking with a big camera. So I was just like, hey, we're brothers there. We're Thundercat brothers.
I
Can't
like
see it right there. But I'm excited. It's just great to meet new people. I'm sitting next to someone I've never met in my entire life.
Too.
At least I really hope so, because I just said that because we did. It got real awkward real quick.
Okay. I already checked. For me, I didn't check for you.
But no, it's exactly what you said, the selfishness. I was asked, hey, do you want to do this thing? You mean meet awesome educators doing awesome things? Yeah. So here we are. Now we're in the center of awesome educators doing awesome things. And I can't wait to dive into these conversations. And in School AI, we're all about helping teachers make school awesome every single day. So swing by booth 2714 and we can have more of those conversations. But I'm excited to hear about our guests.
Let's hear some awesome things from Amie Reed. Welcome.
Yes. Hello.
First time on the show, first time meeting you. Yes. A lot of firsts. And I didn't have my glasses, so I'm squinting. I'm like, is that Amie? I don't want to call someone the wrong name.
No, it is.
So
Amie Reed, yep.
Thanks for joining us. So for those who don't know Amie Reed, including Nick and I,
yeah,
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello, I'm Amie Reed. I am a literacy coach in Southern Illinois, down by St. Louis, Missouri. I have been in education for over 20 years. I've been doing instructional coaching this will be my 6th year coming up. And so I'm just really excited to be here. I'm ISTE certified instructional leader. I'm a ISTE community leader. I was an ASCD emerging leader. So all the things.
So you've done some things.
I got my badge right here where it's instructional leader.
Yes.
I was like,
I was told we're supposed to have something printed on here. I was told by Carmelita. She said I need to go demand a new badge.
Fabulous. And I'm a literacy coach. I spent 15 years as a high school English teacher. So what grade groups do you generally work with?
So I am the only literacy coach in my district. We're a K-8 district. We have seven buildings. So I work with teachers K-8.
Oh my goodness, 7 buildings.
We have over 250 certified staff.
Okay.
And me and a math coach. We're adding 2 special education coaches for this year coming up. So we're excited to double our team.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
So what you're seeing in real time or listening, if you're listening, is this is the power of ISTE. We've never met, Nick never met, but these are the conversations you can have in the hallway, that you can have it at lunch, or you can have it at a social. So the power of these events is not just the 45 minutes, the sessions that you go to. It's meeting people who have like roles that you have or roles that you want to learn from. For me, as an assistant superintendent, I love learning from practitioners who are in the classroom, who are coaching individuals, because that helps me to frame that work. And speaking of coaching, I'm going to be doing a session Monday, tomorrow at 11:45. Magic happens with coaching connections. Tell everybody listening and watching, what's that session going to be about?
So that's at the Coaches Playground. And so I am going to be presenting in the first half of that. My session there is called Taking Command of Your Coaching. And I'm going to be sharing ideas on how to sort of like coach from the front. A lot of times in coaching, we end up like doing things at the last minute. We're, capitalizing on all those. And so it's about being a little bit more proactive in our coaching strategy. So I'm excited to share some ideas and things that we have had work for us in my district.
I love that because I have to tell you, as someone who was an instructional coach and did all of that, there was nothing more frustrating than getting the email, hey, can you come by my room at 8:45? It's 8 a.m. I need help doing X, Y, or Z. And you're like, first you're thinking, this is not how this should have happened. These tools are not the tools that we should be using.
Right.
And like you said, you're playing triage. You're just like trying to put Band-Aids on top of things.
Yes.
And I think having those conversations with teachers and it's tough because we've also been there where all of a sudden lesson plans are changing because X, Y, Z happened. And now you're doing this and things are bumped up or things are pushed back. So being a coach and the flexibility that is required in being a coach is something I think some coaches forget when they were in the classroom, but also there needs to be that happy balance of like, hey, if you reach out to me soon enough, I can have all of these things.
Have things planned.
Yes, which is
it
so
can't all
much
be winging
easier.
it, just like in the classroom. It's okay to wing it sometimes, but we want to have plans too.
All right, so I brought a gift for you.
Oh,
And when I was, yes, I did. And that, for all of you guests coming up, I don't have a gift for all of you. I just have one, just for Amie.
Oh, awesome.
So, and I was looking through and, people sign up and then I kind of get an idea of what their sessions are just to kind of, I do get ready a little bit. I don't just wing it all. But you have a session coming up on Monday, the Wellbeing Playground, permission to pause, play, and be present. So
yes.
This week was an exciting week for my co-host of my other podcast and my co-author, Lori, because our new book just came out titled Bringing Passion, Play, and Purpose Back to Education.
Awesome.
So our work is Smile Factor, the Smile Factor podcast. So I am giving you a copy because I saw your session and I was like, wow, this would be great. Not because I think you need help, because obviously you are doing the work. But I thought,
the hint, Amie.
No, don't. As soon as I said it, I was like, this is what people say about me all the time. Like, stop being a humble brag about it. No. I was like, how we learn is bringing more ideas together. And it was one that is a passion of mine from being a principal for 10 years. And it's like, why can't we keep having fun? To being an assistant superintendent, like, where's your suit and tie? I'm like, no, what are we excited about? And that's where this book came from. And then when I saw your session, I'm like, I'm going to give one to Amie. Not because I think you need it or more because part of this work is sharing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So tell us about that session.
Yeah, so my session there is on promoting teacher retention through shared leadership systems. So I'm going to be sharing something that came to life as part of my Google Innovator project, actually, which is where we created an instructor leadership team, and we have teacher leaders from across our district who develop strategies. And it's just about creating systems for shared leadership to empower teacher leaders and how that can promote connection to your school and to your community. And so that's primarily what I'm going to be sharing there at the Wellbeing Playground.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Another Google Innovator here. Bam.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
You two are racking up the badges for your emails.
I have a badge problem.
I tell you, but it's sort of like this indicative of how we clearly are traveling in the same circles, but have managed not to cross paths, which just really shows you how big these circles are, with all of the people and what we're doing. And, digital wellness and wellness across the board, I think our conversation as teachers, we're always constantly running at something. And self-care is the thing that gets cut, and so does reflection. Yeah. It's another thing. It's like the first thing a teacher cuts when they finish their lesson. I don't have time. I'll think about this later. I'll make a note in my lesson plan book. Like, how have you seen tools today? Like I said, you've been in the classroom over 20 years, you said, so I've got like over 22, so we're like right on the same world. Yeah. How have tools today helped support wellness, reflection, and things like that?
Well, I think there's a lot of tools that help do things a lot more quickly than when we first started. So that helps just create more time in a teacher's day, I think, to allow for that reflection. Also, there's a lot of really innovative tech tools that students can be using, keeping them really engaged, that enables teachers to have little small groups, and which can also help some of that reflection piece, I think.
Yeah, awesome. And you talked about student engagement. You're also doing a session on educator engagement.
Yep.
So on Tuesday at 3:00, swimming through teacher engagement. Oh, somebody's coming whispering in Nick's ear. So secrets. Swimming through teacher engagement challenges. Just keep coaching. I like that. Is that like from Dory? Just keep swimming.
That was the inspiration there.
So tell us about just keep coaching. Tell us what that is.
Yeah. So sort of like in my when I'm talking about my first session about being more proactive in our coaching, but I started as a coach in 2020, which was quite a time to start a new job.
Yes.
And so just from 2020 to 2021, like coaching looked one way. And then in 21, 22, it looked a whole different way. And then every year since then, right, it's just changed. And so we have a lot of strategies that we've tried, the math coach I work with and I. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing about all these different ways that you can try to engage with teachers to just get them to be a little more proactive. But you really just have to keep throwing things out there because teachers are busy. And so you have to find them at just the right moment when they're having just the right, challenge that's going to, hook them in. Because in my district, coaching is opt-in. There's just the two of us and one teacher. So we have to really market it. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing at my poster.
Wonderful.
It's crazy to even think about how 2020 was 6 years ago. When you think about what world all of us were thrown into, my school had just gone into spring break, and the entire tech team had to spend our entire spring break figuring out remote learning. Like, guess what, everyone? We need not only train all the teachers, we have to train the parents, we have to train the students from first grade all the way through high school. And the things that we learned that we implemented in terms of like value. At one point, the middle school principal got rid of homework for the rest of 2020. He's like, you know what? We're going to be online and we're going to learn, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's no homework. Everyone be with your family. And I was kind of like, can we just keep this? Why does this have to be a national emergency reason? Why not just say, hey, everyone, look at the value of focusing on getting the most out of the time in your class, which is, as a coach, is what you're trying to do, right? Is help those teachers maximize that time so that kids can be kids. Right? We talk about wellness and the packets that come home. I'm just like, now it's my life. Like now, as the parents, I'm like, I have homework now, and I'm sitting with my kid, and he's like, I don't want to do this packet. I don't want to do this packet either.
Yes.
So I 100% see like how that's all just slowly changing. We're keeping good things, and we're hopefully ditching like bad things. And so, like, as a coach, how do you manage a teacher or a situation where they walk in and they're like, I want to do this thing, and you're like, ooh, we don't do that thing anymore. Like how do you get them to that next step or that beyond?
So I a lot of times try to connect it to their goals. Like, why did they call me in? A lot of times it's student engagement challenges, which is leading to classroom management struggles. And so, typically it's because we're using older materials or outdated strategies. And so we can sort of get around to that through let's collect some data and see how engaged are your students. Are your students up and moving around, or are they, doing the tests or setting for them? And then we can talk through the tasks that they're setting and then collect that data at the end and be like, we changed our mind on this a little bit. How are things going differently?
Love that. And I think there's nothing more as frustrating as a coach to trying to make that communication, because it's hard as a teacher to not feel insulted. Right? You're doing this and it's not working.
Yes.
But it also, and I always say, it also takes a ton of courage for you to come and say, I am having trouble with these students.
Yeah.
I always say, you did the hardest thing, asking for help, because so many teachers, especially new teachers, who are afraid to ask for help because, I'm telling everyone I can't do my job. And so I always say, I have a job because everyone can't do their job 100% of the time.
Right.
Everyone needs, I need coaching, right? And I work with admin who give me coaching. So all of us need coaching. The growth mindset is a real thing. It might be a buzzword that's been heard too much, but it's a real thing. As teachers, if we're not willing to keep learning, how can we expect our students to struggle and keep learning? If we're like, I'm not using that board on my wall, I don't know how to use it, not happening. Give me, dry erase markers until I die. Those aren't effective ways to do that. Getting over that
stigma is important.
Yeah. When I was in the classroom, I always had to just believe that everyone was doing the best they could, like parents, everyone's bringing their best to the table. I don't think anyone wakes up and is like, I'm going to do my worst job possible today. So,
well, that's good.
I think going into conversations, just knowing that people are doing their very best. And so we just try to help them build from there.
Yeah, and for those of us that taught long enough, we know that kid acting up, it's never because he doesn't like you. There are 17 different things going on in their life, which is why they are doing what they're doing. And helping teachers unpack that, like you said, it can change the game in reaching this student or that student.
Awesome. So, Amie, I have one, being a first-time guest, I get to ask the question I ask all of our first-time guests. So, I wrote Stronger Together after my work at BC about bringing schools together and building communities. And then that kind of has expanded into events and meeting great people. But when you hear Stronger Together, what does that mean for you and your work?
So I think for me, that just means coming together as a school community to meet our shared goals. I'm presenting on the shared leadership structure. So that's like, we all have things we're experts in. So we need to be sharing those to help elevate everyone in the profession.
Awesome. Well, I am so thrilled to get a chance to meet you. I already know like 5 people. I'm going to make sure to say, make sure you connect with Amie. A lot of our authors at X Factor write a lot about coaching and that work. So I want to make sure you meet Lori and Deanne is here. There's so many others I want to make sure you see when you're out and about. And if you're here at ISTE on Monday at 11:45, make sure to check out Magic Happens with Coaching Connections. Also on Monday, a few hours later, the Wellbeing Playground as well. Permission to pause, play, and be present. And then on Tuesday at 3 o'clock, swimming through teacher engagement challenges. Just keep coaching. Do you have a shirt for that? Let's
I should. I know.
Get on it, Amie.
I know.
I'm giving you homework.
For real.
Come on. Giving you homework to make T-shirts.
I'll get on that.
I have one. I lied. I have one more question because one of the things I've talked about on a lot of podcasts is taking that step and being courageous to have those conversations. When you saw the opportunity to sign up and be a part with people you didn't know, what did it take to be like, I want to put myself out there and do this?
Well, I just, for myself, for this conference, made a goal that I was going to try to make connections and build my network. So that was the goal I set for myself. And when this link came out on some place I was in, some group I was in, or I don't know what I thought, but I was like, I'm going to do that to help meet you guys and just get myself out there. So,
well, I'm glad you did. And that goes for all of you out there. Take that step, meet somebody new each and every day, say hi to somebody, try something you didn't think you would, because on Wednesday or whenever you're leaving, you can't get that time back. So make that time, let Amie be your role model in that. Just keep coaching. She is coaching you right now on this podcast. So Amie, thank you for taking that time, taking that risk, and joining us. And Nick, thanks for sticking around and keep coming back.
Every single time I will be here.
All right, for all of you out there watching or listening, make sure to keep watching throughout the day. Make sure to check out School AI at booth 2714. And as always, make sure to bring your best to ISTE 2026.